everybody, this is Sneaky the Lost coming to you today from my Let's Play world that we do with Gord and Kate and Lars. Today coming to you with a channel update and also showing off some things. I kinda sorta, well, that's actually not doing what it should be doing. Should have a better texture on it. At any rate, so I've got shaders on, Zeus shaders, as well as the Redcraft texture pack, and I was wanting to show off really the differences in graphics. Now the problem is these things are from the illumination wand from Too Many Wands. Because of how the shaders are interacting with it, it's got the stupid little boxes. But other than that, as you can see, the sun is starting to peek over the horizon, and you see the lovely textures that it's giving. It actually looks 3D. That's bump mapping. And you see I'm actually turning, and you can actually see my shadow as I'm turning with me, which is really awesome. There's the snow texture I was looking for. Look at that. That's just the bump mapping there. And the cobblestone really looks nice from this angle. So, yeah, this is, and look at those clouds. But really the most epic thing to look at is going to be over here. As soon as it gets done loading. Yeah, I do have about 5 gigs of RAM going, but shaders are tough, yo. So, yeah. Look at that water. Look at that water. Isn't that just amazing? But also, you'll notice that inside is a lot less bright than outside because of how things work. But you've got these torches to still shed illumination. But you'll notice the sunshine is much brighter. So let's head down then. And we're also going to swing by Lars's base because he's just an amazing builder. You got a lot of stuff going on over there. And we'll get to it during the day. And we'll get to it at night because he does a lot of stuff with lighting. But yeah, look at that. Doesn't that look awesome? Yeah, I think so too. Do you need to take that thing down? So yeah, docks have been expanded a little bit here. Eventually, I am gonna build those little naval forts back there. I haven't had a chance to get around to it yet, but yeah. And there's the seawall there. You know, classic design. Nothing too shabby yet. We are gonna spruce it up, but haven't quite figured out how to do that just yet. Now, this thing looks frickin' amazing at night. It really does. Just getting rid of some of the snow. I'm going to have to figure out what to do for that snow and get it off of there, because I'm wanting to make sure that this looks cool, even with all of the when all the runes come in. Have been changing things up a bit though. Down here, you'll notice it's big empty space. This is eventually where a mob grinder is going, but not quite yet. So here's Lars's base. It is coming in here as it is chunk loading. I've got lazy chunk loading on with Optifine, which is why it's taking a while. It's much, much less server intensive to do it that way, though. There we go. And you'll have to check this out at night. I'm going to have to come back here at night and check it out from here, because this thing looks really awesome in the evening when it's glowing, because those are all jack-o'-lanterns. So here's all of his flowers, his flower fall, if you will. Pretty cool. But it's over here, really, that he's done a lot of really amazing work. Here's the, and again, this is your water. It's all still water. Nothing is flowing here, but it looks awesome. Well, here's your flowing water right here. But yeah, that looks kind of awesome. I know they were kind of worried about flowing blocks because that can really hurt a server if you're not careful and you've got too many of them. It's not as big of a problem anymore, but it used to be a major issue back in the day. These monster spawners, I actually cannot spawn anything because they spawn either on their level or one level above it, which is where the water is, and they can't spawn in water. So perfectly safe to have them there. Just a little bit of decoration in addition to these jack-o'-lanterns. Gives a little bit of a flame every now and then. It makes it look cool. Now here's a waterfall that he's got, you know, which is serving as the water source for this little water park, water garden, I suppose you could call it. Which is kind of cool. At one point, he had some immersive engineering blocks up here. Looks like he kind of took... Oh, no, there's the water wheels. Yeah. So he's got the water wheels on that thing, which is generating some RF for him. So he's got some energy to do things with over here at his base. You know, wired up there. And if you'll notice, this is actually where the water is starting from. It's actually kind of hard to see with the shaders because it looks so realistic that it's very, very clear. Which I suppose might not be completely accurate, because if it was stagnant like that, it would probably be kind of mucky. But that's where the waterfall itself is coming from. Notice the glowstone up there, and it's falling on here and around. It's about as good a compromise between energy efficiency and style as he's willing to get, and I certainly support that. You know, at some point you do have to take aesthetics into consideration, assuming your name isn't Direwolf20. And yeah, so again, here's a situation where you've got an overhang sheltered from the sunlight, but you still got ambient lights. Eventually, we're probably going to start transitioning over to these lanterns, given time and resources. They really are a nice aesthetic light source. I really like them and how they're able to be used in a lot of different scenarios. Here's what he's been doing. That's just the beacon from the waypoint. As you notice, he's really been doing a good job. Now, these are not bitmapped because that's from Chisel, not from Vanilla, and so the texture pack isn't working on it to bump map. So that's a texture, that's a bump map texture. That's the difference between the two in the shader pack. One actually looks like there's actual stones sticking out of it, whereas this one is kind of two-dimensional. Unfortunately, I'm not aware of any texture packs that have bothered with mods anymore, which is understandable, but also a shame. Here's his little bed area, which actually looks really awesome. I like this area, especially as the sun is coming in through the grates. That actually looks really awesome. Just some thickened glass there to protect you from an unpleasant fall. And again, we're going to have to come up here at night, which actually it is going to be night in fairly short order, which means we'll really be able to get a chance to see some of this stuff. Glowstone here. You notice the connected textures with the glowstone. A couple of lanterns. Those things are going to look really, yeah, because you see they're actually glowing. Yeah, those are actual jack-o'-lanterns. So are those. It's harder to tell it's glowing when it's actually got the direct sunlight on it, which again, very, very realistic looking. So here's the sun starting to set. I'm just checking and seeing where I can go. Now this actually looks really cool. This marble obsidian checkerboard looks really awesome. Looks like he's done some work over there with another pumpkin farm. AgriCraft is in the pack, but it is a very alpha version, so not yet ready to do a lot of things with. He's been using a lot of this acacia wood for bordering, which has been really nice. He may want to look at those two things. It looks like he was trying to do a find or replace and didn't quite get them all. You see there's the water wheel, as you can see it from above with the water flowing down and around. And as the world shifts to darkness, you'll start to really see just how amazing this is. First off, this is where the water is coming from, which is pretty awesome. But first off, here's your top-down view of the water garden. Doesn't that look awesome? That is just amazing. And you've got, of course, you've got your glowstone in your in your waterfall, making things look awesome too. But it just kind of leads itself out down there, and there's the dark forest back there that is apparently on fire. He was trying to clear it, and fire is not a very economic way of clearing it. However, a very satisfying way of clearing it, let's say. So that looks awesome. Let's go ahead and head back over here. Now there's the altar, and that gives you an idea of how awesome that altar is going to look when it's completed, because that lava moat is going to be all the way around there. It's going to look really epic. But let's head back here and get a better view. Look at that. Okay, the zombie is below us. I give no anythings. So, yeah, I mean, that's really what it's looking like from over here. Let's get an angle over here, and you'll see you've got the one without and one with. What are you doing? Who is shooting at me? Oh, you. I'm not even going to. So, yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at it from down here, why don't we? Just take a ride down here, and it gives you kind of a better idea. And as you see in the wall, he's also done a pattern here in jack-o'-lantern. So let's go ahead and back it up a little bit and take a look at that. That's actually pretty awesome, in my opinion. Let's see if I can't get onto one of those. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, look at that. That's actually pretty darn awesome here. Let's see if I can find another place to go. Let's go over here and see if we can't... See if we can't get a better look at it from over here. Let's see, where are we in relation? Ah. let's actually pop over here. That should give us a better idea. Ah, there we are. Look at that zigzag pattern. And then it just kind of rolls neatly into the water garden. That is actually really awesome. And of course, these little floating islands with the redstone torches are ever so gently lit up. Little islands floating in the sky. I never thought that that would actually look cool, but there you go. He has proven me wrong, and typically I find Mario blocks to be extremely aggravating. But he's actually done a really, really awesome job of it, so yeah. And this is what you can really do with shaders. I mean, you know, this is just Minecraft with a 32x pack. I haven't even put in like a 128 pack. This is just a 32x pack with shaders. If I threw in something like a photorealism 256 pack, I mean, it would be mind blowing. So that's just kind of the walk around of the of our base as it currently stands with the shaders that I am now able to install now that I have, you know, 16 gigs of RAM in my computer, and I can afford to do things like spend 5 gigs on a texture pack. Let's head back to base so we can see what this is going to look like from over there. There we go. Look at that. Well, let's get up here. There. Yeah, that's gonna look epic when it is done. So, yeah, that's kind of the walkthrough. Expect to see some videos starting to show up in my channel in short order. I have finally gotten everything straightened out as far as, yeah, now it's trying to load over here. I have gotten my recording more or less straightened out, so you can expect to see videos starting on Monday is when my Stardew Valley Season 2 will launch. It will be a modded Stardew Valley experience. And now that Stardew Modding API, SMAPI, is now multi-platform, it would be a shame to not take advantage of that and everything that it has to offer. There we go, just giving you a view of that that whole bay area lit up like that. Eventually, Dockside is going to look similar, and that's going to be pretty awesome. This ledge is where I'm going to be putting in the customs house. You know, what would a Dockside be without a customs house? But as you can see, pretty epic looking Dockside here. Especially with the lights, you really get the ambient feel for the lights here like this. Pretty cool. So, and now we're back in our own base. AgroCraft has released... Oh, one other problem that I have with the shaders is the framed drawers. Due to how the framed drawers are rendered, it doesn't work very well with shaders, unfortunately, because of how it does its thing. So they look kind of silly. But the regular drawers look pretty awesome. And I guess we've kind of done a chalice design here, I guess. Looks pretty cool to me. Eventually we're going to move this. AgroCraft has released, although it's still kind of buggy. Eventually I'm going to clean all of this up. I keep saying eventually, one of these days, but Yeah, eventually. So yeah, that's going to be the walk around and the update. Expect to at least see Stardew Valley starting to update on Monday. Potentially also seeing a single player of Minecraft potentially with the shader pack if I can get it to cooperate. Um, Running that single player, I may need 6 gigs or more because it's gonna be very, very intensive to load up a new world. Because with this, at least I've got the server sharing a lot of the load, but single player is gonna be a little bit more difficult. But yeah. So as the dawn rises, this is Sneaky the Lost signing off.